All right, guys, so today what I want to show you is a mod that a lot of people do, a lot of veteran rotary owners who know their cars pretty well, is remove the door chime / coolant level chime. It's that little buzzer that comes on every time you open the door, every time you're low on coolant, every time that any kind of warning system comes on. It's that little buzzer that you hear underneath the dashboard. So if you know your car pretty well and you have a pretty keen eye to keep on the coolant level light, then all the other features for it are really just obligatory to a lot of people, myself included. If you are new, then it might be keen of you to keep the chimer in if you're not going to be paying attention to your coolant level light all the time. Just so you get that little extra heads up if something's going wrong or your car's overheating. But I've had mine out for 2 years without any issues. A lot of veteran owners remove it. And just this car has the cluster out, which makes it way easier. But you can still access it by removing the little under panel that's right underneath your steering column. And if you look, it's just right underneath here in this area over here. And it's called the F100 Module. All right, we're going to move on to removing it. All right, guys, so like I was saying, the F100 Module is located underneath your steering, underneath your dashboard, right next to the steering column right here. This one's a little bit loose, and I've already loosened the 10 mil nut over here. So basically the 10 mil nut is right where my finger's pointing on the right hand side. If you have a left hand drive vehicle, I believe it is on the other side of that, but not all 95s have this module. So I'm going to take the nut off over here that I've loosened, and you can see right on the front of this that it says F100 right here. So I've got the nut off, and now I'm going to pull this side this way a little bit and out. I'm going to pull it down. I'm just going to shake it down. There's 3 connectors on here. First one I'm going to take off is on the left side. Little detent, push that in. I'm going to now flip it towards me, expose the other 2 connectors. I'm going to take off this big one here, which also has a little detent right in the middle. And then this last one right here. Just squeeze it and pull. And now I have the F100 module out. As you can see, that was 1 connector, 2 connectors, and 3 connectors, and we've got it out. All right, so here's the F100 module. Sometimes they're labeled F110, the F110 module, and if it's labeled F110, that just means it has the security module on the inside. So for the cars with the factory alarm system, that's what I'm pretty sure the F110 modules are. But either way, it'll look and be shaped just like this. So I've got a soldering iron here that's just heating up right now in preparation. We're going to get a little tiny screwdriver, and we're going to remove this 1 screw. We're going to remove this 1 screw from the center of this panel. Once that's out, I'm going to set it aside in a safe location. All right, so I've got that screw out in the center panel. I had to jog my memory how this thing comes the fuck apart. So it's got a tab here, 2 tabs here, and a tab here. So I'm just going to start from one side, pop that out, then I'm going to start over here, pop these out. You really can't fuck it up, but you can make it not look as pretty. But there we go. Now I got those off. This comes off, okay? And now this, you gotta be very careful, but slides out. You might have to push on the pins from the connectors. Boom. And now we've exposed that annoying fucking speaker right here. So we've got the circuit board exposed, and if you just look at where the speaker is right here, okay, and then you just follow that around, you can see that there's 1, 2 little solder points for the speaker right there. So what I'm going to essentially do is I'm going to grab onto the speaker, and I'm going to pull on it with my finger this way as I hit this solder point right here, and I'm basically trying to loosen it up. And you hear it creaking because I'm pulling the joint out. Boom. As easy as that. Popped it off. No more speaker. It's gone. Okay. And the solder points are clear. Yeah. Good to go. So let's cover now why some of these F100 modules fail. As you can see, there is some solder seeping out of some of these capacitor heads. So these aren't capacitors, these are resistors, but these capacitors either seep and the shit from them destroys the solder joints. So a lot of times you get your windows will fail or your windows won't work. And that happened on mine. When my windows failed, I essentially just soldered the power from one to the other. So I bypassed this entire circuit board just by crossing these solder streams right here. There's a good write-up on the forums for it if you can find it. That goes in a little bit more in depth on what exactly you need to cross or resolder on here. Some people will go as far as desoldering each one of the capacitors and resoldering new capacitors on. That's beyond my skill. Well, I mean, I could probably do it, but it's beyond what I wanted to do since I had access to a couple of these. But yeah, there you go, guys. That's it. We're just gonna put it back inside the case, just like this. Make sure all the pins for the connectors line up. Push that in. Slide this in, just like this. Snap it in. Throw the screw in. We're gonna reinstall it in the car, and we shouldn't have a chime anymore. There you go. Install it just like you took it out. Thanks for watching, guys. Just some simple content, and hopefully your buzzer no longer annoys the fuck out of you. Peace.